Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Baruch College on 25th and Lex. We are live in the Arc Arena. Tonight we have a doubleheader. The Baruch Bearcats women's and men's teams playing John Jay Bloodhounds alongside Joe Stolzer. I'm Dave Just, and this week start heavy in the conference play, Joe, and the Bearcats took a tough loss a couple nights ago at Lehman College.
Yeah, Dave, good evening. And wow, it's a heat wave here in New York. And hopefully here in the Arc Arena, it's very hot for the Bearcats. But just a note, what a game statistically for the Bearcats the other night. Melinda Spayu, the freshman phenom, 33 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Her teammate, Shannon Barrett, old reliable, 29 points, 18 rebounds. Melinda Diaz, 16 points, 8 rebounds and 6 assists. Wow, you put all of these statistics together, and what they mean is this Baruch team has really come a long way since we first saw them at the beginning of the year. Of course, we're not mentioning Samir Ahmed, the new addition, who really is a very skilled player, and she's the future. But, of course, John Jay, they're coming in at 0-13, of course, but they do have 5 freshmen. Chris Perez averaging 10.2 per game. Jessica Gorman, 8.4 rebounds. But, listen, when the ball goes up in CUNY, anything is possible. 0-13, 13-0, anything can happen. It's a competitive conference. So I'm looking for Baruch to, have their A game and not let John Jay get any momentum. Send them back to the west side real quickly.
And Joe, you mentioned coming in 0-13. Now, Coach Kellyanne Barrett's Bearcats, granted 2-8 overall, but 2-3 in the conference, which is very important and a great opportunity tonight to face this Bloodhounds team and really get back to 500 in conference.
Yeah. You can't let up. Whether, like I said, top team, bottom team. Right now, the calendar is moving. So you really, you don't want to slip up. And I'm really impressed with, again, I've been mentioning the freshmen of Baruch, of Spayu, and, of course, again, Barrett is your go-to player. But I have a good feeling about tonight. And let's see if that good feeling turns into a good night of victory for Baruch. Let's also mention Coach Barrett has her team prepared. And earlier in this year, if the viewers saw the Old Westbury game, Baruch was right there. Came down to a last-second shot, and they really gave it to Old Westbury. So potential's there, and I think these young players are grown up now as we, go into mid-January. So let's see. Hopefully it's a good game.
And, Joe, we're about 30 seconds away from tip-off. How important it is for Baruch to, hop on this Bloodhound team and really get off to a quick start tonight.
Yeah, it's super important that, you get out, defend your home court, and let's get Shannon Barrett going early and let, John Jay make all the mistakes. But you, Baruch, limit your mistakes. Don't beat yourself. And let's get up to a big lead and hold on to it.
All right, and we're moments away. We're going to send it over to the PA announcer for our national anthem. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats.
Say, does that star-spangled banner
And first, the lineups for the Bloodhounds of John Jay, coached by head coach Linda Day. At guard, number 00, Caitlin Kohler. At the other guard, number 21, Daniel Nicholson, senior from Maspeth. At the small forward, number 34, Jessica Gorman. At the power forward, number 33, Kayla Talbot. And at center, number 10, Jellis Williams. And for the Bearcats tonight, coached by Kellyanne Barrett. At guard, number 14, Daniela Arias. At the other guard, number 20, Samira Ahmed. At the forward, number 15, Melinda Spayu. At the other forward, number 34, Lisette DeBoard. And at center tonight, number 31, Shannon Barrett. And your Bloodhounds wearing your dark blue uniforms with the white lettering. And tonight, Baruch will be in their all whites with the light blue trim. So, Joe, we are moments away here from a nice conference matchup, and, the games constantly just get more important as the season wears on.
Yeah, Dave, Baruch with a victory this evening would be 3-3 in the conference and really make it a lockjam between CCNY, which is 3-3. Lehman's got 4 wins, Hunter 4, Brooklyn 4 behind Staten Island. So 3 wins puts you within sight of the top. So that's one of your objectives. The other thing is Coach Barrett doesn't want, these kind of things to go in the mind of the players, to hamper them. She just wants to follow the lead of your go-to player, Shannon Barrett, and as I keep saying, let the freshmen grow up.
And we are moments away from tip-off. A lot of action also tonight in the CUNYAC, which could definitely play with the seedings, in the moment while we're playing out this one. Tonight, Lehman is at Hunter, Medgar Evers is at City College, York is at Brooklyn, and John Jay is at Baruch here at the Arc Arena. And you're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats. We are moments away from tip-off as the two teams break their huddle and come to the floor.
Yeah, I'd like to see, Dave, how many touches Shannon Barrett gets early. That's been something that her teammates have not done. If she gets touches, and they're productive touches, then we really have good things happening for the Bearcats.
It'll be Shannon Barrett and Jessica Gorman on the tip. Baruch will go left to right to start the first quarter. And we are underway here at the Arc Arena as Shannon Barrett wins the tip and Daniela Arias is quickly into the front court, swinging it around. Ball moves inside to Spayu, drives into the paint, able to hit a nice 3-foot jumper.
Yeah, that's what you want. First possession, and one teammate finding another.
And we have a clock malfunction. 9:38. And an inbound goes to Kohler for the Bloodhounds. Swings it around to Nicholson, back up top to Talbot.
Watch for Daniela Arias, her quick feet, her quick hands. They usually lead to a deflection or a steal.
Jumper there by Talbot's no good. Rebounded by Kohler, able to put it back and in. And once again, what plagues Baruch, we've seen it in a number of games, is some of the positioning on the defensive rebounds.
Yeah, Spayu had her back turned, and she couldn't identify her man. Led to an easy offensive rebound by John Jay.
Ahmed has it up top now. Thinks about the straightaway 3, gives it off to Spayu. She puts it on the floor. Now Ahmed has it. Drives, goes up, awkward right-hand layup, no good.
Yeah, Ahmed with that Euro step, sometimes it works, but she really didn't have a good body angle to do anything with her move.
And a turnover there by the Bloodhounds. The ball will go back to Baruch. 2-2 here in the early going. 8:47 remaining in the first.
So let's see, where is Barrett in this possession?
Spayu has it now right wing up to Arias up top, swinging it around to Ahmed. Arias has it up top, straightaway 3. Around and out, rebound fought for, come away by Kohler for the Bloodhounds. And John Jay will bring it up the court.
Okay, well, Diaz can make that. But like I said, I think strategy-wise, let's get your lead player involved.
And Arias comes away with the steal. Bringing it to the front court, bounce pass to DeBoard. Her shot too strong off glass, and the Bloodhounds will come away with it. It'll be Kohler bringing it into the front court. Nicholson has it now right wing for John Jay. Up top to Talbot. Quickly swung it around to Kohler. Gives it up to Gorman. Gorman's three. Off too short, off front rim. Rebounded, tipped around, and Arias comes away with it. Up to Spahiu. Spahiu driving, working on Kohler. Gets into the paint, off glass, and good. Knocks it down. Nice move there by Spahiu to find some space for the shot.
Yeah, Arias and Spahiu, they get into the lane just about any time they want.
Kohler has it now up top for John Jay. And the nice ball moving in the early going. Nicholson open three, no good. Rebound, it's fought for as Spahiu hits the deck. And they're going to say it went off Jessica Gorman last. Checking to the game now, Christiane Perez, the leading scorer for the John Jay Bloodhounds.
Yeah, Spahiu, like Barrett, not afraid to go on the floor and do something to get a loose ball.
And now Barrett, running point guard here. Gives it off to Arias, right wing. Back up top to Barrett. Spahiu finds a soft spot in the zone, gives it inside to DeBoer. Nice positioning there to keep the ball up above her shoulders and able to finish off the glass.
Yeah, thanks to Spahiu for locating her teammate. That's one of her attributes.
Perez has it now, gives it off to Kohler. Kohler's going to drive on DeBoer. Her pass intercepted by Spahiu, and now Spahiu will push on the fast break. And Baruch running. Gives it off to Arias. Shannon Barrett, left wing three. Off front rim, rebounded by Spahiu, and Baruch get a fresh 30. Spahiu into the lane, gives it off to DeBoer. DeBoer thinks about the shot. Instead gives it up to Barrett, and Baruch will quickly move the ball around the outside. Samira Ahmed's three, no good. Rebounded by Kohler, and John Jay will push into the front court.
I just want to mention Lisette DeBoer, another freshman, unsung. She does so many things like Spahiu out there that don't show up in the scoreboard.
Now Perez thinks about the shot, swinging it back around. It's going to be Kohler for John Jay. Bounce pass into Talbot, excuse me. Perez has it now. Swings it around to Kohler. Kohler's, I think her foot was on the line, but either way, the shot was off back rim. However, Nicholson comes away with the rebound for John Jay, and they have an opportunity to set up their offense again.
Dave, that's the second time Melinda Spahiu turned her body. Can't do that because she couldn't find a John Jay player, which led to an offensive rebound.
You just feel at that point you're just feeling for somebody to box out. Nice
right.
Back step by Arias. Her jumper no good. Barrett fights with the rebound with Kayla Talbot, and she comes away with it for John Jay.
Yeah, still no touches for Barrett. She had one, but the offense has got to look for her first, and then everything secondary.
We'd like to see her set up a little bit more in the post. Her only shot so far tonight is a left wing three. As Gorman's shot is no good, and Spahiu comes again away with the rebound. And now Arias quickly into the paint, kicks it out to Spahiu. She thinks about the three. Instead, she'll put the ball on the floor, fakes the pass, off glass. Nice move there by Melinda Spahiu.
Spahiu emerging offensively. Back in the Lehman game, 33, and now here she's off and running.
Baruch lead 8-2 halfway through the first quarter. Dana Nicholson has it now for John Jay. Bounce pass outside to Gorman. Inside to Kohler. Now Nicholson straight on three. Nice shot there by Dana Nicholson. 8-5 Baruch lead.
Yeah, you got to put a hand in the shooter's face. That's too easy. Can't let John Jay get any momentum. You don't want them to get any confidence if you're Baruch here.
Now Spahiu gets it from Ahmed inside. Drives. Off glass, no good, and she'll go to the line to shoot two. Nice move there by Spahiu to catch the ball in the soft spot of the zone and force her way to the rim.
Yes, she's a very talented player, uses one dribble to get herself free, and also uses her body to shield the defender.
Spahiu off back rim, no good on the first. 8-5, Baruch lead, 4:27 remaining here in the first quarter. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats. And number one, Aaliyah Lipton, has checked into the game as Kayla Talbot has taken a seat for the Bloodhounds. Off on the second is Spahiu.
Yeah, missed free throws, a bad habit. You need free throws to win games for you late. So in these moments, it's practice for game winning things.
Nicholson three from the corner, overshot her mark. Ball's tipped around, and it's going to stay with the Bloodhounds. Oh, they're going to discuss it, and it's actually going to go to Baruch. So nice, like when the refs come together there and make the correct call.
Yeah, I continue to look at the scenario Now, notice that Barrett's bringing the ball up, so she does have the ball in her hands. But you want the offense to start with Barrett and then go secondary.
Nice shot there by Shannon Barrett as she knocks down the straightaway three, and we've seen Baruch really going to Spahiu in that soft spot inside the zone and able to work off of that.
Yeah, but now I like the fact that Barrett's on the board with a three, and that's just good for Baruch's attack and for what's going to come down in the game. In not only this game, but games to follow. Barrett cannot get lost.
A nice defensive play by Barrett there to force the turnover. Now Arias has it now. Spahiu sets up again in that soft spot. She'll drive. She comes between two defenders, too strong. She fights for the rebound. Rebound of those by number 00, Caitlin Kohler for the Bloodhounds.
Yeah, Spahiu, she gets that close, she's got to finish.
And a nice turnover there. Baruch forcing the Bloodhounds into a turnover, and it'll go back. It'll be Arias, gives it off to Barrett. Looks like it was Nicholson hit the deck. Spahiu thinks about the shot. Instead, she'll kick it out to Arias. Corner three. A little short off rim, and Kohler comes away with the rebound for John Jay.
But that was a good two-man game between teammates. Again, all of these little things add up down the stretch to good things to happen for your team.
As Kohler's three is no good, rebound is tipped away by Barrett, and she comes away with it, pushes quickly into the front court. Baruch's running a little bit. Barrett's pass a little too strong for Ahmed, and it'll go out of bounds at a unwise turnover there by Baruch when they've been having their way so far on the offensive end.
Yeah, throughout the season, turnovers have plagued Baruch. Their attempt to get back into games and the reason why they got out of games.
So Perez has it now for John Jay. She'll walk it across the timeline. Jacqueline Thamakun checking in for the Bearcats. And a turnover there. Samira Ahmed comes away with it. She almost loses her dribble, though. Is able to stay with it. Gets into the paint. Too soft, and I think she lost positioning once she tried the spin move there.
Yeah, Baruch, too much in a hurry. You should not be in a hurry. Settle down. Let things happen.
Nicholson has it up top now for John Jay. Gives it off to Lipton, swinging around to Gorman. Now Nicholson three. Off back rim, no good. Rebounds fought for. Nice play there by DeBoard. It's loose, and DeBoard comes away with it.
Good example of DeBoard's value to your team. She does the little things.
Nice play there by Spahiu to get into the lane. Too strong. And it's going to be no good, but the ball will go off the Bloodhounds, and it'll stay with Baruch. Nice play there by Spahiu to get right to the rim.
Yeah, but that's two. She got in real close, then finish. You want to finish. You want to extend this lead now. 11-5. You're giving John Jay confidence.
It's going to be an important 2 minutes right here at the end of the first quarter. Either way, as Thamakun gets the inbound up top. Quickly swung around. Shannon Barrett shot too strong. Rebounded by number 10, Jealous Williams, who's checked back into the game.
Yeah, Barrett, got herself free with that dribble, went up vertically, but didn't finish.
Now Gorman quickly around to Nicholson, over to Perez. Inside to Lipton, shot too strong, though. Nice way to find some space there by Aaliyah Lipton as Baruch is quickly to run. Spahiu now thinks about the shot. Instead, she doesn't put the ball on the floor and takes too many steps. Way to get the defender out of position there, but a costly turnover by Baruch.
Yeah, I think Baruch has got to slow it down a little bit. Get some involvement in the offense. Some people are standing around. We know that Melinda can get to the basket, but I'm sure Coach Barrett wants some movement, some sharing of the ball. Let Barrett get a touch.
And Jessica Gorman comes to the bench for John Jay. Lipton has it now. Kohler swung around to Perez. She moves it up top to Nicholson. The ball trying to get inside. Arias tips it away. Another steal by Baruch as Barrett comes away with it. But then again, she turns the ball over right back to the waiting hands of Lipton.
Yeah,
and John Jay will set up.
It started by great hands by Arias, but led to Baruch's playing too fast. That leads to turnovers.
And now Perez has it up top. She takes 2 steps right outside the free throw line. She gets fouled. The foul's going to be on number 25, Maria Marianthopoulos, excuse me. And that'll send Christiane Perez to the line to shoot 2. See Coach Barrett going a little bit deeper on her bench early on in the game here tonight compared to the last few games that we've done.
Yeah, I think, again, with every game, you want everybody to get some action. this way, if called on, they can be ready to deliver. Perez, the leading scorer for John Jay, hit 1 of 2.
And it goes out of bounds off the leg of Arias, and it'll stay with John Jay. 43.5 seconds remain. 26 on the shot clock. Baruch lead 11-6. Now Perez has it up top.
Perez has been quiet as far as being the leading scorer.
Perez gets it now, puts it on the floor, working on DeBoard. Now Nicholson up top to Kohler. She looks for an option, gives it off to Perez. Perez's 3. Too strong, no good. Rebounded by Arias. And the foul's going to be on number 21, Nicholson.
Yeah, Arias showing great toughness to hold on to that ball. And in this final 25 seconds, Dave, a basket here would be great psychologically for the Bearcats. A little separation.
Now Barrett has it up top for Baruch. Gives it off to DeBoard, right back to Barrett. Quickly swung around to Arias. Now Arias drives into the paint, almost loses it up top to Barrett. She thinks about the shot. DeBoard over to Thamakun. Back outside to Barrett. That one's thrown away. And it's going to be a backcourt violation against Baruch with 3.3 seconds left. And, Joe, I think we've seen about 3 or 4 possessions here at the end of the first quarter that have ended in turnovers for the Bearcats.
Yeah, Diaz has got to get the ball. She's the leader. She's your leader, your point guard. She should be directing traffic. She's not doing that.
And that'll do it for the first quarter. Baruch 11, John Jay 6. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
And welcome back to a Baruch Basketball doubleheader on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats. As you can see, the standings neck and neck. A Bearcats win tonight will push them up to 3-3 in the standings, right back into the thick of things. Against a struggling John Jay team, currently 0-13 and 0-5 in the conference. So, Joe, a sloppy ending for the Bearcats, and you said you definitely want to see a little bit more of Arias as the on-ball playmaker here moving forward in the second quarter.
Yeah, shout out to Daniela Arias. I've been calling her Diaz. My bad. I'm so fond of her. Again, she's been doing a great job. Again, quick feet, quick hands, and that's going to be the recipe for success for the Bearcats. Arias, Spayu, DeBoard, and Barrett. And, of course, Ahmed.
Spayu leading the way in the first with 6 points, 4 boards on 3 of 5 shooting. As Kohler has it now left wing, gives it off to Nicholson for John Jay. Perez thinks about the shot, doesn't, gives it off. And now Lipton has it up front. Kohler up top, bounce pass to Perez, almost tipped away there by Thamakun, outside to Lipton. Swings it quickly into the corner. Nicholson, her 3, nice shot there, and just like that, a big possession there by John Jay.
Yeah. Again, hand in the face. Please don't give your opponent a good look at the basket.
Barrett has it now, gives it off to Thamakun, finds Arias in the heart of that zone. Almost thrown away there as Ahmed was cutting, able to regain and corral the ball. As Barrett has it now up top, working on Perez. Kicks it out to Thamakun as Barrett clears space. Thamakun's jumper no good, but just like that, John Jay throw it away. Unforced error by the Bloodhounds.
Yeah, I thought that was a better possession for Baruch. They more spacing. When it's cluttered, bad things happen.
Barrett has it now, gives it off to Arias. 9 minutes left here in the half. Baruch lead 11-9 in a close game here at the Arc Arena. Arias gives it off to Ahmed. Her 16-foot jumper, no good, off back rim, rebounded by Perez for the Bloodhounds.
Well, it was good. Arias was up top, and, she found a wide-open teammate. That's okay. Ahmed's just got to knock that down.
Baruch only shooting 31% in the first quarter. Definitely something they want to improve on here in the second. as the foul is on number 34, Jessica Gorman, as her and Spy were both fighting for that to chase after that rebound, tangle some feet, and it'll go back to Baruch.
Yeah, this possession is big now. As we go into the second quarter, Baruch has got to create some sort of separation. So it starts with Arias and hopefully finishes with Barrett. That's your perfect scenario.
Arias up top now. Finds Marian Thopoulos, gives it back up to Arias. A little two-woman game right here. Ahmed now in the corner. She takes the jumper, not afraid to shoot it again. It goes around and out. No good. Rebounded, fought for, goes off Barrett last, and the ball will go back to John Jay.
Yeah, it was a good look. Again, the ball came from Arias into the corner. That's what you want, but again, Ahmed doesn't go down for her.
Baruch has definitely been finding the looks they want tonight, Joe. I just think it's about more converting them on the offensive end.
Some days the ball drops and some days it doesn't. Unfortunate cliche.
Gorman has it now, gives it over to Nicholson, swings it up top to Perez, back out to Nicholson, straightaway three. Offside rim. Rebounds fall forward between Gorman and Barrett, and Gorman comes away with it and able to give it off to Lipton for John Jay. Up top to Nicholson. She picks up her dribble. Dangerous cross-court pass to Perez. And that's going to be too many steps by Perez, and it'll go back to Baruch.
But that was caused by good defense, about players staying and not leaving their feet, causing the other team to turn it over.
Some dangerous passes, though, by John Jay, cross-court, maybe picking up your dribble a little quicker than they should.
Yeah, but again, defense usually dictates that. So Baruch did their job defensively. Let's see if the ball goes down now. We've had a couple of possessions where the ball went in and out. Diaz is the top, looking for a teammate. Arias again. Boy, I must have Diaz somewhere in my psyche today.
Marian Thopoulos jumper, no good, off back rim. Rebounds fought for. Spyu out-dueling two people there. And she was able to rip it away from Kohler and Talbot, but couldn't finish on the layup opportunity, and it'll go back to John Jay, bringing it to the front court with Kohler. Now Spyu comes away with it for Baruch. Spyu right into the heart of that defense, gives it up to Arias. Arias drives now into the paint. Her floater, nice finish there by Arias.
Arias,
and a well-needed basket there by Baruch.
That's what she does well. She gets into the lane, and that time she finished.
Nicholson swinging around to Kohler for John Jay. Lipton has it up top to Nicholson. Bounce pass inside to Gorman. Back up top to Lipton. Her jumper off back iron, no good. And it's going to go off the Bloodhounds last, and it'll be back to Baruch. Ball will be back to Baruch as Lisette DeBoer's quick to check in as Marian Thopoulos comes to the bench for the Bearcats.
Yeah, DeBoer is that intangible player. She helps you, again, not scoring, but offensive rebounds, good defense, hustle plays.
Now Arias will bring it up. She's covered by Nicholson, gives it off to Ahmed, right wing. Back up top to Arias, swung around to Spyu. And Baruch have their starting five back in the game. Gives it off. Nice jab step there by Ahmed. Her jumper's no good, and she just hasn't found the stroke tonight. But she's been able to create some space for herself on the offensive end.
Yeah, somebody's got to pick it up for Ahmed.
Now Lipton has it, and she circles back, being covered by Arias as Baruch sets up in the 2-3 zone.
Yeah, Arias is just going to, she's about to make something happen with her feet and hands.
Awkward layup there. Opportunity by Gorman, no good. Rebounds fought for. And Nicholson comes away with it up top. And once again, Baruch struggling to grab the boards on the defensive end.
Yeah, but they're working. They're working. Their feet are moving. Their hands are moving.
Talbot bounce pass outside to Nicholson. Nicholson finds Gorman. Her three-pointer, no good. Off back rim. Rebounded by Spyu. And it's going to be a full timeout with 5:09 remaining here in the half. Baruch lead 13-9. You're watching Baruch basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats. And it's been a slow game here so far, Joe. Poor shooting, I guess, from both teams, but definitely finding some opportunity, just not able to finish in the end.
Yeah, Baruch slowed down. They were pushing it too fast, but Arias is at the top. That's where you want her, and she's looking to each wing. But what concerns me, where is Shannon Barrett? Okay, when she's out on the court, she has to be part of your offense at the very beginning or at least at the very end.
Yeah, Barrett only 3 points tonight. Melinda Spayu leading the way with 6, but she got him very early. We really haven't seen anything from her on the offensive end all second quarter.
Yeah, Ahmed tonight, shots are not falling, so who's going to step up? Is it Spayu coming off that 33-point game? Is it Arias who's capable of putting up numbers? Or is it Barrett, as usual, on her way to big numbers? So far, we haven't answered those questions. But once again, it starts defensively, and we need separation now. 13-9. Coach Barrett feels that this game is too close, and bad things can happen if you keep your opponent in the game.
Poor shooting through the first quarter and a half. Talking about a John Jay team that's shooting about 14%, and Baruch's team shooting not much better at only 26% clip. So Spayu has it now for the Bearcats. Gives it up to Barrett up top, swung around to the board. The ball's moving quickly here in the Baruch offensive end. Straightaway 3 from Barrett. Off front rim, back rim, and out. No good.
Yeah, shots are not falling. Arias was on the wing that play. Barrett was at the top. But again, shots were not falling. Okay, there's the
nice
ball.
Steal there by DeBoard. And the Baruch tenacity on the defensive end has not wavered here in the second quarter as Spayu quickly into the lane, finds Ahmed. Once again, a baseline jumper, no good, and she keeps firing him away as Kohler and Barrett hit the ground, and Barrett slow to get up, favoring that leg a little bit as she gets back on defense. Kohler receives the pass, but she's fouled by DeBoer. A little push from behind, and John Jay will inbound under their own basket. 4:14 remaining. Baruch lead 13-9.
Yeah, defensively, Baruch has been good, not great. But again, offensively, they're just coming up with nothing.
Shot off there by John Jay as Shannon Barrett comes away with the rebound for Baruch. Brings it into the front court. Perez on her. Gives it off to Spayu. Spayu's jumper. No good. Rebound fought for. It's going to come away with Nicholson for John Jay. And Coach Linda Day wants her Bloodhounds to slow up the pace.
Yeah, I would like to see Arias call for the ball and be a leader at the top and run the offense.
As Spayu tips that one away. And it's going to go back to, it's going to say it's off Nicholson last. Nice play there by Spayu to create the turnover. And it's going to be Baruch basketball on the far side.
Yeah, that's what Spayu does for you. That's what the board does for you. That's what Arias does for you, things that don't show up. But we have to see where the offense is going now.
Barrett has it up top, quickly swung around to the board, trying to find Spayu in that soft zone. Does, kicks it around. Arias in the corner, drives baseline. Too strong, though. Rebound fought for. It's going to be Spayu up over Gorman to get the rebound, and she kicks it out to Arias, up top to Barrett, and Barrett will slow it down with 23 seconds on the shot clock. Finds Arias inside. Jumper right inside the free throw line is good. Nice play there by Baruch to find the soft spot of John Jay.
Yeah, you couldn't have drawn that up any better, Dave. A teammate finding an open teammate. Arias does that no better than anybody else. She gets in that lane.
And now Perez has it for John Jay. He thinks about driving. Her jumper up over Arias is no good. Rebound loose on the floor, though, as Kohler comes away with it. High off glass, able to finish. Nice play there by Caitlin Kohler to pick up that loose ball and convert on the offensive end.
Yeah, Baruch got lazy there. You got to get that ball. That's a hot potato.
Samira Ahmed has it now up to Arias, swung around to Spayu. As Baruch rotate, who's going to set up in the middle of the zone there. Arias drives, gives it up. It's going to be Ahmed, straightaway jumper, no good. Rebound fought for. It's going to be Kohler who comes away with it. And Baruch having a lot of size on this John Jay team, not really dominating on the boards the way I thought they would tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. They look a little tentative. Dave, I see Ahmed. It's not working for her tonight. I see Arias has to be the secondary scorer for the Bearcats.
Behind Spayu, of all people, Shannon Barrett still trying to find her rhythm
right
this evening. Quickly up to Arias, though, as Baruch break. Right over to Spayu, nice transition bucket there by Baruch, and we definitely want to see a little bit more of that against this John Jay team.
Yeah, Melinda Spayu, make sure you shake your teammate Arias' hands. Great find.
As Perez right into the lane, able to cut right through the defense. However, unable to finish. Spayu comes away with the rebound for Baruch. She has it up top, drives right into the lane, bounce pass to the board. Too strong there by Lisette DeBoard.
Well, that was a great setup by Spayu to find an open board, but again, the MO for Baruch early, they're getting close, but the shots are not dropping.
And that'll be a 30-second timeout for John Jay. So with 1:41 remaining, Baruch 17, John Jay 11. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats. So, Joe, a minute and 41 left. Tight game, still only 6 points here. Definitely a big minute and 41 for both these teams. John Jay trying to crawl back into this game while Baruch maybe want to extend that lead a little bit right before half.
Yeah, I've seen throughout the season Baruch gets into some moments where they're kind of taking a coffee break, and you can't let that happen. This is an 0-13 team. If I'm Coach Barrett and I'm the Baruch leaders, I tell their teammates, let's go. Let's not let up.
Definitely put the pedal to the metal at this point. Really try to close them out here in the first half.
Yes.
Perez has it now, working on Spayu, gives it off to Lipton. And once again, John Jay will get that ball movement around the perimeter, trying to find an open opportunity to break down this Baruch defense. It's Kohler, and it's going to be an offensive foul. She runs over Barrett.
Barrett, again, stayed down and had position. Classic offensive foul. The leading scorer for John Jay Perez has been quiet, so that hasn't been a problem for the Bearcats.
And the offensive foul there is on Kaylin Kohler, double zero. We saw that she was not a fan of the call as she was running off the court as she gets subbed out. Spayu has it up top, over to Thamakun. Thamakun, long jumper, no good. Rebounded by Barrett, though. She's right underneath. Her shot kind of gets blocked, though, as DeBoard swings it back up to Thamakun, up to Spayu, and Baruch will be able to reset. Like how Shannon Barrow was able to get that ball deep in the post that time, as Thamakun has it now. Gives it off to DeBoard. Swung around to Spayu, over to Barrett. Open backdoor three. No good. Rebounded by DeBoard, though, and Baruch again get to set up. And Barrett will have it up top to slow it up as Spayu gets it left wing. Gives it inside to Thamakun. Gets Talbot in the air, instead kicks it out to DeBoard, who swings it around to Barrett. Barrett into the lane, off the glass, too soft. And Talbot will come away with the rebound. 37 seconds remaining here in the half.
Okay, but Barrett was trying to assert herself. The shots are just not falling for the Bearcats.
For either team. As Gorman has it now up top for John Jay. Lipton over to Perez, quickly swung around to Talbot up top. Bounce pass to Nicholson. Nicholson, shot clock running low. Perez has to put up the shot. Floater, no good. Rebounded by Thamakun.
Good defense by the Bearcats. Got to get the shot off.
Spayu right into the lane, able to walk around defenders there, get to the paint. And Coach Dave visibly upset on the bench, and that'll do it for the first half. Baruch 19, John Jay 11. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats. And Joe, what a, slow second quarter there. If you're talking about a game that went into the second quarter 11-6, you're talking about only 14 combined points in the second quarter.
Yeah, Dave, this is a dangerous game. Going into the locker room, it's 19-11 favor. It's only 8 points. With the three ball, you get right back into a dangerous position for Baruch to be in. John Jay saying, hey, we're in the game. A run or two, and you never know. So if I'm Coach Barrett, I put up the caution sign. I really see Arias being a big part of the offense, which doesn't happen a lot because Shannon Barrett, the shots are not dropping. Melinda Spayu, yes. But I look for Arias to possibly really bail this team out come the second half, which is uncharacteristic. But somebody has to step up.
Spayu leading the way with 10 points, but more shocking, Shannon Barrett and Samira Ahmed, the two bigger secondary scorers, and Danielle Arias, combined for a 3 for 21 behind Melinda Spayu's 5 for 9. Baruch shooting 9 of 36 in the first half, fortunately holding the John Jay Bloodhounds to only 4 of 28 and a 14% shooting clip here in the first.
Yeah, and the leading scorer, Perez, for John Jay has not really had anything going on for her. John Jay has, by committee, 3 here or 3 there. So, again, 19-11, an uncomfortable position if you're Baruch. You're at home. Big win in terms of conference play. And your shots are not falling, so you got to come out early and you got to separate yourself. But the question is, who's going to be that person to ignite the Baruch flame?
And to your point, Joe, Kellyanne Barrett can't be upset with the shots that her team's getting so far because they are open shots. Samira Ahmed's having great opportunities. Shannon Barrett had a couple three-pointer looks and as well as 2 plays inside where she was unable to finish. And Daniela Arias, has gotten the ball in that soft spot of that zone a few times, and her jumper's not gone down. So it's not so much about the positioning and finding ways to score. It's about actually putting the ball in the hoop.
Right, but this is a scenario that comes up in the course of a season, next man up. If it's not Barrett, next man up, and if it's Daniela Arias, so be it, or if it's Melinda Spayu, who scored 33 the other night. So the capabilities are there for the Bearcats, but again, next man up, as simple as that.
And there's so much potential for this Bearcats offense. You're talking about you're holding, Samira Ahmed to have no points in the first half, and then, Shannon Barrett only 3 points, where she's averaging 18 a game on the season. So you'd expect the law of equilibrium to kind of balance itself out there, and Shannon Barrett to have a nice dominant second half.
Yeah, and I got news for you. If somebody like Arias or Spayu finds the board underneath, that's a bucket. So don't count out people like DeBoard or they have capable shooters off the bench for Coach Barrett.
Yeah, Thamakun and Marion Thopoulos both getting good looks in the first half.
Exactly. So again, against this 0-13 team, you're not going to get a lot of great defense thrown at you. So it's there for the Baruch Bearcats. Let's see what Baruch team comes out of the locker room.
And on the other end, you're talking about Baruch letting up a lot of boards opportunities, but big game so far from Kaylin Kohler. Granted, only 4 points, but 11 boards so far for the John Jay Bloodhounds.
Yeah, Baruch should have taken advantage of the turnovers. John Jay 11-4. Rebounding, it's 27-25. So, you always want to win the rebounding battle. Offensively, 7 offensive rebounds for Baruch, 6 for John Jay. So that's close. From three land, 2 for 16, John Jay, and the Bearcats are 1 for 7. That's got to improve on the Bearcats side.
And Baruch, it's tough to win normally when you're shooting only 25% from the field. However, when your oppositions are shooting only 14%, it's going to do you a lot of favors. Definitely want to see Baruch capitalize and get back to their season average shooting just a little bit over 30% for the year. If they can hit a few more shots, they could definitely stretch the lead here in the second half, as they only lead by 8 here at halftime at the Arc Arena.
Yeah, don't be fooled by an 0-13 team. An 0-13 team, except for the Cleveland Browns, can easily get a win. So this is a game that Coach Barrett just wants to see, good fundamentals come out of it. And I think that the theme tonight, Dave, next man up. That seems to be the theme. Your leading scorer is not having the big numbers. Who's the secondary player? Because every game now, if somebody's not happening, you got to have a secondary and third option. So let's see who that second player is.
And so when you're looking for is definitely number 14, Daniela Arias. We actually had an opportunity to sit down with Daniela over the break when they had their nice little layoff and get her thoughts on some of the early part of the Baruch season. Alongside Daniela Arias, starting guard for the Baruch Lady Bearcats, I'm David Just. Thank you, Daniela, for joining us this afternoon.
No problem.
So, Daniela, after a back-and-forth game against Old Westbury this past weekend, how do you think the team has played during the early parts of the season so far?
I think we're doing pretty well. I mean, we just are learning from our mistakes, trying to get better every day and working as a group. Just working on our drills, our handles, and like I said, just getting better every day.
So just more gym prep in the next few weeks while we're off in order to come back on the 29th in order to be ready for game day?
Yeah, just staying in shape and working on our weaknesses. We all know what roles we play in a team, so we just have to work on those, and hopefully the second half of the season will be even better than the first half.
So last year you had Kristen and Veronica on the team, and they played a lot more on the ball, giving you more space off the ball. This year you've had the ball in your hands a lot more in the early going part of the season. How do you think you've transitioned to the role of on the ball, running the point?
Well, obviously it was amazing having them. Kristen was a great point guard, and Veronica was one of the best shooters in the league. So that was definitely amazing. But, I have a new role, so I just had to work on things that I maybe didn't do as much last year, like bringing the ball up and staying in control and controlling the tempo of the game. Mm-hmm. So, it's been a hard transition because, like you said, I was off the ball more, but I have been a point guard before, so right. It's just, getting back to that tempo and that role. Slowly I'm getting there.
And I assume Coach Barrett prepped you a little bit before coming into the offseason. Anything you did maybe over the offseason in terms of ball work and whatnot to prepare you to be the dominant point guard this year?
Yeah, I mean, just working on my handle, like I said, making sure my left hand is strong, taking more shots. So yeah, it was more of a mental preparation more than physical, just letting me know, you have a bigger role this year and you just have to step up.
Right. And you think you've adopted to that role very nicely based off your numbers this year, averaging, spreading the ball around, getting some rebounds, and putting in the points that you need to keep up with the scoring with this team.
I mean, I'm trying.
Nice.
Yeah, I've definitely just been working on it and staying focused and, like I said before, taking on the new role.
Right.
It's all about just staying focused and mentally knowing that you have to do what you have to do to get
Right.
to get the W.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And lastly, just a little bit about you. You started playing basketball at 7 years old. How did you get into the game initially? And then, who taught you the game? Where did you learn it? And
Well, I played on St. Stan's in Maspeth. I initially started. I just liked the game. I went to a practice. I knew the coaches, and ever since I started, I just fell in love with the game, and I haven't stopped ever since. I played travel ball. I played in high school. But yeah, it's always been my sport. It's fun to watch. It's fun to play. It's fun to coach. So yeah, it's always been my sport.
well, thanks, Daniela, for the time. This has been Daniela Arias, starting guard for the Lady Bearcats.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that. A lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. And in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
and welcome back. You're watching Baruch Basketball live from the Arc Arena on YouTube channel Baruch Bearcats. Tonight, a doubleheader at half. The Bearcats lead of the first game, 19-11. We're about 2.5 minutes away from the start of the second half against the John Jay Bloodhounds. But don't forget to stay tuned after this. The men's game, also Baruch John Jay, another opportunity for the men to stop their skid as losers of 3 straight going back to the 30th of December. 3 straight conference games lost by the men's Baruch team. However, the ladies tonight have a great opportunity to get right back into the thick of things in the CUNYAC Conference.
Yeah, Dave. I mean, this game is obviously, on the street, an easy one. But never count out an opponent, and especially you give an opponent some confidence. And shots start to fall, and, your opponent, even if they're 0-13, is right there. So if I'm the Bearcats, I come out of the locker room, and I look for separation, but I also look for, okay, who's going to be the players that are going to put the ball in the basket as opposed to who's not shooting well tonight. So once again, like we mentioned, next man up.
And right now it's been more who hasn't been shooting well tonight, and the answer would be a lot of people. You're talking about Shannon Barrett, 1 for 7, Samira Ahmed, 0 for 8, and also Christiane Perez, the leading scorer for John Jay, 0 for 4 with only 1 point out of the 11 for her squad.
Dave, I was premature. I said the temperatures have warmed up, but unfortunately it did not include here in the arena. Outside on Lexington Avenue, it's very mild, and heck, I don't have to wear my thermals today. But on a serious side, again, I look for Arias to step up. I look for Spayu to get going again, as she does, creating her own shot. And I'm not worried about Barrett, because I think Barrett is also a decoy. For personal stats, of course, she'd like to get her points, but she's a decoy. But we really need second and third players to get going. And this game is going to carry over to the next game. If Baruch has a so-so game, it could have an effect on the next game, because from here on in, Dave, it's psychology.
And for me, it's not even about Barrett and her scoring. It's about where she's touching the ball. I'd like to see her a little bit more inside, maybe finding that soft spot of the zone or even working on the block a little bit more. She seems to be getting a lot of her touches so far in the first half, maybe outside the three-point line.
To your point, Dave, another attribute of Shannon Barrett, she likes to catch the ball in rhythm on the wing. So if Arias is up top or Spayu, get her in rhythm and boom, and then she follows it with a 3. So if she's not down low, she likes a rhythm shot on the wing. Well, get her the ball.
And John Jay in their away blue uniforms. We going left to right here in the second half. Baruch will inbound on the far side with Daniela Arias. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats. Arias to inbound to Barrett, and we are underway here in the second half. Barrett up top over to Spayu. Gives over to Barrett, right around to the board. Arias inside. They're joined by Ahmed on the court, but it's Barrett up top now. Finds Spayu inside the paint. Not able to hit, though. A little strong on the back iron. And the ball will stay with Baruch underneath at 9:43 remaining here in the third.
Dave, Barrett is up top starting out the second half.
Now Arias looking for the inbounds, gives it off to Spayu up top. Back to Arias. Thinks about the shots that she drives. Too strong, though. Wild layup there as the ball's knocked away from Talbot, and it's going to go back to the Bloodhounds.
Yeah, I thought Arias came up too early with her shot, and she had a chance to continue onto the basket.
Now Kohler has it, gives it up to Williams. Ball goes through her hands. It's out of bounds. And it'll go back to Baruch. A costly turnover there by John Jay in the early going of the third quarter.
Yeah, we mentioned about the first 5 minutes in every game, especially here in the second half. Baruch has to really put the foot on the gas pedal and separate themselves.
And now Spayu catches it inside the paint, gives it back out to Arias. Back to Spayu, right inside the free throw line, puts it on the ground, but kicks it back out to Arias. Now Arias drives off glass, no good. Rebounded by Jessica Gorman, and she'll give it off to Kohler, who could bring it into the front court and set up the offense for the John Jay Bloodhounds.
Yeah, Arias with one dribble put herself in a really good position. She just didn't knock it down.
Talbot has it now, gives it off to Gorman up top. Stops her dribble, and now finds Nicholson. Hand off to her. Ahmed on Nicholson, gives it off to Talbot. She's covered by Barrett. Three-pointer by Gorman. That's short, off rim. And it'll go out of bounds and back to Baruch with 8:38 remaining here in the third.
So, Dave, the shooting has not improved on either side. So now, again, after this timeout, Baruch has the ball. And 19-11 with 8:38 remaining. We are still waiting to see who is going to put their foot on that proverbial gas pedal and either come back in this game or separate themselves.
And, Joe, do you think it gets frustrating for Baruch knowing that they're having the opportunities to score, not finishing, and not really be able to put a stranglehold on this game here, where they, in theory, they could have been up, I think, big in the first half with some of the opportunities that they've missed?
Yeah, well, that's where the expertise and experience of Coach Barrett, she's got to point out to Baruch, don't fall down to the level of your 0-13 opponent. You have to be the aggressor. Irregardless, everything here is scenarios, and metaphors at the same time. So no matter what your opponent's doing, you have to control your own business.
Arias has it now up top for Baruch. Ahmed in the corner, quickly swung back up top to Arias as Baruch swing the ball around. It'll be Ahmed now in the other corner, right side. It gives it off to Spayu. Her shot's short, rebounded by Shannon Barrett over Talbot for Baruch, and they'll be able to set up again. Arias now over to Barrett. She drives left into the lane, floater, it rattles around and in, and Shannon Barrett able to get this second half scoring underway as Arias makes a nice steal there, and she's fouled. Quick steal there by Daniela Arias on the inbounds. She's fouled and go to the line to shoot two.
What Arias did now was take away possession from John Jay. So this could be a 4-point play and be that separation, Dave, that we've been talking about.
Arias able to knock down the first. And Christiane Perez quickly into the game for John Jay as Jellis Williams comes to the bench. Arias for her second. Around and out, no good. Rebound.
Dave,
Excuse me, it's going to be a lane violation on John Jay, so Arias will have another shot.
Dave, credit Baruch's patience on offense that led to that prior successful basket by Barrett. See, when they slow things down and they pass it around, good things happen.
And Arias able to knock down the second, making it a 12-point game. Baruch lead 23-11 with 2 minutes gone here in the second half. Nicholson almost turns it over for John Jay, but Kohler comes away with it, and she does turn it over as Spayu picks it up, gives it off to Ahmed. Too short on the right hand, and the foul's going to be on Baruch. It's going to be a reach-in on the back end. It's going to be on number 34, Lisette DeBoard.
But, Dave, Melinda Spayu, the sequence that she just did, put her hand in, got the ball free, and went down court to an open teammate. Can't ask for anything better.
Now Perez has it now for John Jay. Almost tipped away by Ahmed there. Able to come from behind and tip it away, but Lipton has it for John Jay now. Covered by Arias. Perez has it now, and she's fouled by number 20, Ahmed.
Yeah, that was a very lazy foul by Ahmed. She was not in her stance, and she didn't move her feet. So the only thing she can do is foul the offensive player when the offensive player was by her. So Ahmed is, I don't feel her tonight. I think that, she's not here like she has been in the past.
Gorman has it now up top for John Jay. Gives it off to Nicholson, her three. Able to rattle it home. Dana Nicholson, nice shot there. Cuts the lead to 9. Baruch lead 23-14. 7 minutes remaining here in the second as Spayu slid the pivot foot, and it'll go back to John Jay. And this is how you could give a team momentum right here, Joe.
Yeah, I see Barrett yelling at her teammate, words of encouragement. Arias has got to step up as a leader and also calm her team down.
Nice play by Perez. Nice move off the glass, able to knock it down. 23-16, Baruch lead. Arias has it now in the front court for the Bearcats.
Yeah, I like Arias at the top. She's a steady leader. Gets the ball to the wings.
Arias up top, ball getting swung back and forth. Now it's DeBoard gives it off to Barrett. Barrett right into the lane. She's fouled and go to the line to shoot 2. Nice way there for Barrett to impose her will on a smaller John Jay Bloodhounds team.
Yeah, that's the way you draw it up. It's like a quarterback giving a handoff to your top running back. But like I said, I want to repeat this because this is pivotal. I like Arias at the top. And it's really shout out again to the Arias family. I like Arias at the top because I like the way she distributes the ball, and especially to players like Barrett in rhythm.
And Barrett knocks down the first, makes it an 8-point game. Chance to extend it to 9. And she does, 2 of 2 of the line there. So Baruch lead 25-16, 6:36 remaining. Dangerous pass there as DeBoard almost knocks it away from Kohler. Goes out of bounds, and it'll stay with John Jay.
But there's the value of DeBoard away from the ball. She does the things that don't show up in your scoreboard.
And now Lipton gets the inbound goal, running the full length of the court. Wild shot, though, rebounded by Gorman, no good. Gorman gets fouled on the second attempt, and she goes to the line. Nice hustle there by Jessica Gorman, only at 5'3", fighting over both Lisette DeBoard, 5'7", and Shannon Barrett, 5'11", for that offensive board.
Yeah, Baruch just was never in position defensively, and you have to know where your player is.
And Gorman knocks down the first, but just the fact that Baruch are just letting up these offensive rebound opportunities when they're giving 5 inches to the opposing players. Gorman in this situation.
Well, this is a case of which team wants it more, and right now John Jay showed that they wanted it more and got themselves to the foul line.
And Shannon Barrett quickly into the front court. Gives it off to Spayu. Spayu right into the lane. She's double teamed, and her pass is thrown away as Kohler brings it into the front court. DeBoard hits the deck behind the play, but Arias comes away with the rebounds. Wild shot there by Nicholson, I believe. And Arias brings it into the front court, up to Barrett. Barrett right into the lane, and she's fouled. Hits the deck again. The foul is going to be on number... Foul's going to be on number 00, Caitlin Kohler.
Dave, good things happen for the Bearcats when the ball is in the hands of Daniela Arias. She's a great distributor, and that was a good example. You know, she brought the ball up court, and she found a cutting teammate.
And Barrett knocks down the first. Caitlin Kohler to the bench for John Jay. And Baruch no good on the second free throw, so now it'll be Perez in the backcourt in the front court for John Jay. She's covered by Spayu, quickly around to Gorman. Now it's Lipton. Lipton working on Barrett as Barrett hits the deck. And that was a late call there. Offensive foul. Aaliyah Lipton. It looked like more of a late call there, but it looked like more of like a travel, if anything, because she moved both of her feet when she picked up the ball there. I didn't really see an offensive foul. It just seemed like the coming together of two bodies.
Yeah, I didn't see, Dave, any contact, but it went the Bearcats' way.
Arias over to Papadopoulos now. Up top with Arias. Now Barrett has it, left wing three. No good. Rebounded, fought for. It's going to be Perez.
But once again, I like Arias at the top because she really whips the ball around to get players in rhythm.
Perez has it now. A couple stutter steps on Spayu. It's a nice matchup right there. Let's give it off to Gorman. Now Perez. Perez is going to drive. And one. Nice shot there by Christiane Perez. And that could be a nice momentum play for the Bloodhounds with an opportunity to cut the Baruch lead to 6.
Well, Perez has been quiet, but, you know, you can't let somebody get going no matter who you are. But she's their leading scorer coming in.
And she's able to knock down the N1. So it's a nice N1 there for Christiane Perez. Baruch lead 26-20 with 5 minutes remaining here in the third and Melinda Spayu able to go right to the other end and finish with the right hand.
Now, Spayu, really, that couldn't have come at a better time. You know, Baruch now has to watch out for the momentum change.
Three-pointer there by Gorman's no good. Rebounded by DeBoard.
That's what the board does for you. They needed that offensive rebound, that defensive rebound, and they got it, but came up short back at the offensive end.
And Barrett visibly frustrated after that last shot. A poor shot attempt in transition, deciding to settle for a 15-footer. Now Perez has it now, gives it off to Gorman, right wing. Up top to Lipton. She drives, floater. Able to finish over DeBoard as she hits the deck. And Baruch's lead again, trimmed to 6, 28-22. Baruch lead, 6 minutes gone here in the third. Arias has it up top for the Bearcats. Gives it off to Papadopoulos. Now Arias up top, swings it over to Spayu, looking for Barrett. Instead goes back up to Arias, who drives. Nice move there by Arias, but too strong, unable to finish. And Aaliyah Lipton comes away with it for John Jay.
Very strong move by Arias, but she needs to finish. That would have really put the lead up to 8. And, you know, again, everything now is looking for Baruch to get separation.
Now Perez to drive, gives it out to Lipton. She drives, no good. Shannon Barrett gets called on the foul, though, and she's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
Barrett, that, you know, she stood there, but the call went for John Jay.
Now Lipton at the line. Off on the first. A little too strong on the free throw there. And she's off on the second, so nice foul there by Barrett, being only her first, but saving Baruch 2 points from the field. Now Arias has it up top, gives it off to Papadopoulos, swung around to Spayu, thinks she has the look, but doesn't take it, gives it off to Arias, and Baruch will set up their offense. Over to Spayu, she thinks about the shot again. Giving a few feet there at the three-point line. Spayu drives, but gets her own rebound off after it goes off rim, no good. Arias has it now up top, working on Nicholson.
Yeah, I look for the ball to go to Barrett.
And now Papadopoulos is past dangerous inside. And John Jay comes away with it. It's going to be a turnover for Baruch as Lipton is fouled. Ball's knocked away, and I think this might send John Jay to the line for a 1-and-1. And a big opportunity for John Jay to get back into the game with Aaliyah Lipton here at the line to shoot 2.
Yeah,
Excuse me, a 1-and-1.
That's a bad foul away from the ball. You know, that was kind of a lazy foul.
There's no opportunity for Lipton to score right there, given the way she was running towards the baseline. And she's off on the first, so once again a nice foul by the Bearcats.
Dave, I really feel with 2:55 left in the third period that Baruch is kind of, they're so lethargic in their body language and the way they're playing. And I just want to see a little turnaround here, a spark of enthusiasm. Hopefully now on this next offensive possession.
Arias has it up top, gives it off to Barrett. Spayu left wing. Over to Papadopoulos, back up to Spayu. And Barrett swings it around up top to DeBoard. Baruch quickly moving the ball around. Arias' baseline jumper, no good. Rebound long. And it's rebounded by Perez, and the foul's going to go against Baruch. It's going to be number 15, Spayu again. And Baruch giving back 3-point opportunities here for John Jay late in the third quarter.
Yeah, like I just want to expand. If you look at the body language, they have the Baruch players have their hands on their hips, and Coach Barrett really has to urge her troops on here. I would think a 3-pointer by Barrett would be a great thing right here at this time of the game. 4-point game.
Also, you can't like the tempo at which Baruch's playing. They've scored very few transition baskets, but seem to want to run and gun tonight. And they've been scoring early. They scored early on when they were setting up in the half-court offense and really trying to drive the ball into the middle of the zone.
Yeah, I think they've been unsure. They've been successful with Arias up top, finding teammates. They need to find Barrett now.
Now Papadopoulos has it now. Barrett baseline. Looking for the board backdoor. Ball goes through her hand. She's able to corral it. Now Arias into the lane. Kicked out to Spayu. She's double teamed. Now Gorman on her. Arias gets it, and some sloppy ball movement by Baruch. Papadopoulos has it now. She goes into the lane. Nice move there, but Barrett on the rebound can't finish. And it's going to be a jump ball. Nice hustle there, but it's going to go back to John Jay, who can cut this deficit even more. 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Baruch 28, John Jay 25. Timeout for Coach Kellyanne Barrett and the Bearcats, and you can see John Jay's pumped. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats. And Joe, it's been a interesting third quarter. You know, obviously 19-11 lead, but getting outscored 14-9 here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Baruch has not gotten started here in the third quarter. I think that if you look at them offensively, they're a little confused. Okay, you have Arias at the top. She's looking to distribute, but somebody has got to kind of find Barrett in rhythm or get out of the way and let Barrett get the ball and put it on the floor. Because guarantee you, a Barrett three-point play, either the old-fashioned way or from the field, would really ignite the Baruch attack and carry over onto the defensive end.
So 2 minutes left, Joe, here in the third. Baruch really need to find their rhythm to get going on the offensive end, just struggling from the field right now.
Yeah. Remember, we mentioned who's the next player up. Is it Spayu? Is it Arias? And we haven't seen any identity offensively for the Bearcats.
Both teams right now shooting 22% from the field. And Baruch in this quarter alone only going 2 of 14, so really struggling from the floor. Now Nicholson has it in the front court on the right wing. Gives it inside to Gorman. Almost loses her pivot foot, though. Now Lipton straight away three. Off the rim and out. And that came close to dropping, but once again, John Jay gets the offensive board. Talbot to Gorman. Gorman's jumper, no good. Rebounded by Papadopoulos. Gives it quickly off to Barrett, and Baruch will push.
Barrett did a good job of not putting her body into the player. There's Spayu. Whenever you need a basket, she seems to get it for you.
Only player tonight so far in double digits, Melinda Spayu. And now Perez throws the ball right into the chest almost of Arias, but bounces off and able to get right back to Perez. Now Talbot inside, working on Barrett, kicks it out to Perez again, and John Jay swings it around the perimeter. Now Lipton, corner jumper. That's long. Rebounds fought for. Looks like Christiane Perez comes away with it for John Jay, and she's fouled. And once again, we'll have that opportunity to go to the line.
Dave, the ball seems to be finding John Jay. Baruch is standing around for the most part, and they're not putting their body in a position to get these loose balls.
2 shots here for John Jay, as Baruch is now into the double bonus. So Marian Thopoulos and Ahmed back into the game, just still waiting for Ahmed to do something, as she's still yet to score on 0 of 9 shooting. So Samira Ahmed, who has only played a handful of games with the Bearcats, but has had a quality season so far, really struggling to get off the schneid tonight.
Yeah, great addition to the Bearcat attack. But let's see now. Who steps up. Spayu, is going to do her thing.
Arias now into the paint, can't finish, but it looked like almost like a jump pass. Gets it inside to Barrett, is able to finish with the left hand. 32-27, Baruch lead.
Yeah, Barrett in the right place at the right time. Now remember, Arias is really good getting herself to the basket, one dribble. She just came up short.
And a dangerous pass there by Lipton, almost knocked away by Spayu. Nicholson over to Lipton again, and John Jay's going to set up their offense. And it's going to be a travel on Perez. She started moving her feet before she put the ball on the floor. And Baruch, with 9 seconds left here in the third, have an opportunity to get off the final shot.
Yeah, Baruch's good feet led to that turnover. Again, they didn't give an opening to John Jay. So some better defense for the Bearcats late in this third quarter.
Now Spayu has it in the corner, gives it over to Arias. Straight away three, short, and that'll do it. So with Baruch leading by 5, 32-27. In a key conference game against John Jay Bloodhounds. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fan. And Joe, maybe it's a little closer than we thought initially at the beginning of the night, with Baruch only leading by 5 going into the fourth.
But these are trap games. They happen on all levels. Is that you come in and it's an 0-13 opponent, so you're really kind of psychologically not there. And, these are the trap games. Now, who helps you in trap games? Good teammates, veteran teammates, good coaching keeps reminding you, let's not get this one, let it get away. So this fourth quarter is going to be good coaching and teammates who are aware that games like these are traps.
Yeah, I hear you there, Joe. I agree. I think, Baruch's playing definitely a little flat and really not finishing when it comes down to having the shots created and an open opportunity.
Yeah, normally when Arias gets into the lane and deep like she does, she knocks it down. Spyu, when she gets in the lane, there's a lot of tendencies that are not working for the Bearcats today. Of course, Ahmed, ever since she's been inserted into the Baruch lineup, she's produced. Tonight not, but that's okay. The key here now, finishing this fourth quarter on a good high note, not a note, but a high note. Let this carry over into the next game. So let's see how the leadership and the coaching of Baruch turns out here in the fourth quarter.
And Barrett definitely contributing that quarter. 7 points in the third, bringing her up to 10 for the evening. So now Arias has it up top, gives it off to Marianthopoulos.
Once again, I like Arias as the distributor up top.
Marianthopoulos three, a little long. Ahmed fights for the rebound with Kohler, but Kohler comes down with it. And now Perez has it in the front court. Kohler left wing for John Jay, swings it around to Gorman. Gorman looked for an option, but it's over back to Kohler. Now Kohler puts it on the floor, picks up her dribble after one dribble. It's Nicholson swing it up top to Lipton. And
Dave, Baruch was in the right places defensively on that possession, and that led to a turnover.
3-second call, I believe, on the offensive end by the John Jay Bloodhounds.
Melinda Spyu's up top. Did a good job moving her hands and her feet.
Now Ahmed thinks about the shot, gives it off to Spyu. Finds the cutter, Barrett. Ooh, too strong, able to fight for the rebound, though. She hits the deck. As Aaliyah Lipton's on the floor holding the back of her ankle.
But that's good ball movement by the Bearcats. 3 passes that found a wide open Barrett. She just didn't make it.
And now Perez brings it into the front court for John Jay. It looked like a scary moment there almost for Lipton as she was holding the back of her leg when she hit the deck there in a collision with Barrett. Now Perez has it, gives it inside to Kohler. Kohler back upside to Lipton. Tries to get her pass off. And Arias tries to save it from going out of bounds after she tips it away. And it'll go back to the Bloodhounds with 8:39 remaining here in the game. Baruch lead 32-27. An opportunity here for the Bloodhounds to cut into that deficit.
Great energy by Arias. That's what she does in the open court. Her feet and her hands create things defensively for the Bearcats.
And only 10 seconds left on the shot clock, so they reclassify that as no possession for Baruch. Now Lipton has it working on Spyu inside. Barrett, good defense. Rebounded, though, again on the offensive end. Now kicked out to Perez. Jumper no good for John Jay as Barrett comes away with it for the Baruch Bearcats.
Good
to the front court for Spyu. Goes right at the rim. No good. A little too strong as Nicholson and Spyu and it looked like Ahmed fought for the loose ball.
Dave, Baruch has come out with a stronger defensive alignment and energy here in the fourth quarter.
Helping a little bit more on the back side. The weak side, excuse me, as Lipton has it now. It's over to Perez. Swings it to the corner to Nicholson. And John Jay have been able to move the ball pretty freely when they want to. As Gorman's jumper, a little bit inside the free throw line, no good, but she gets her own rebound, and she's fouled when she goes up with it again, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Dave, Arias and Spyu up top have been doing their jobs in terms of putting up pressure up top, but it's when the ball gets in the interior that there's a lot of openings.
That'll be Gorman at the line. Her first is good. Able to cut it to a 4-point game. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Baruch lead 32-28. And Gorman's able to rattle home the second, so cuts the deficit to 3. We got the making of a good finish here tonight at the Arc Arena.
Okay, Arias is up top, and that's a good thing. She moves the ball very quickly. Where is Barrett?
Trying to position herself on the post as Arias receives it back up top. 3 straight away, no good. Rebounded, though, by Marianthopoulos after a long rebound. Baruch get a fresh 30. Ball's moved around. Ahmed has it now. Hands off to Spayu. Baseline jumper by Spayu, able to knock it down. Nice shot there by Melinda Spayu to increase the lead to 5 points.
Good patience by the Bearcats on that offensive possession. And, of course, Spayu comes through with a big basket.
And now Lipton up top for John Jay. Gives it off to Christiane Perez. Back up to Lipton, and her ball's picked off by Spayu once again. Getting into some of those passing lanes. Goes right into the lane. Can't finish. She fights for her own rebound, though.
Dave, Spayu and Arias do a great job up top for the Bearcats. Watch possession after possession. There's either a deflection or, a hand up.
And now John Jay will get it underneath. They have to Baruch turn that one over after a nice play there, like Joe said, for Melinda Spayu. Lipton up top now, gives it off to Kohler as Nicholson comes to the ball, but Lipton will now give it to her up top as she moves to a wider position. Kohler swung around left wing. Up top to Gorman, now to Nicholson. Nicholson going to drive, go all the way around baseline. Kohler's 3, able to knock it down. Nice shot there, and they're going to say it was actually a 2. 34-31, Baruch lead with 6.5 left.
Yeah, that's not putting a hand in an opponent's face. You can't give freebies.
Arias has it up top now. Now Spayu thinks about the baseline jumper. Gives it up top to Arias. Her floater and able to knock it down. Nice move there by Daniela Arias to increase the lead to 5 with 6 minutes left here in the game.
That's what Arias does well. One dribble, gets to the basket, and that time she actually finished.
Now Gorman has it. Gives it up top to Lipton. Kohler around back to Gorman, up top to Nicholson now. Over to Kohler again. She found that spot a second ago, able to fire again. No good. Rebounds. Actually, Baruch's going to let that go out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Bearcats as Lissette DeBoard is back to check in.
Dave, 36-31, Bearcats up by 5, 5:46 left. 2 more baskets by Baruch, and possessions would really separate, put them in a good position that they'd want to be in.
You got to be scared of a little bit of your Baruch because John Jay's been able to find their space on the court and having a couple uncontested threes in the last few minutes. As nice pass there by Spayu inside to Barrett. Barrett wanted a foul call. Her shot is no good.
Great pass to Barrett, who was cutting in rhythm.
And they've had her a few times so far as the cutter this evening. Nice jumper there by Gorman's no good, though. It looked good from our angle, but Barrett comes away with the rebound. Inside up to Arias in the transition. Back to Spayu. Too strong, and Baruch looking a little frustrated at the offensive end.
Barrett to Arias to Spayu. You couldn't have drawn it up any better, but no finish.
And that's going to be a 30-second timeout for John Jay with 5 minutes remaining here in the game. Baruch lead 36-31. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats. And, Joe, we have the making of a nice finish here. Baruch not really able to, stretch out that lead yet. And John Jay really not able to cut into it anymore, as we've seen them by about 11 at one point, but really keeping the game at 5 here in the second half.
Yeah, you've seen some really good teamwork in the last couple of possessions by Baruch. Once again, Arias to a secondary teammate, to a third teammate. That's been a good formula throughout, and that's a good look into the future for the Bearcats. I also want to make comment. We always talk about offense. Defensively, Arias and Spayu up top. 1-2 combination that make a lot of things happen for the Baruch, which has really come to fruition lately. Wasn't in earlier games, but that's something to look forward to defensively.
And Baruch forcing 16 turnovers tonight, really not having been able to take advantage of it so far this evening. John Jay a little frivolous with the ball, though, at certain times. Now Perez has it up top for John Jay, covered by Arias, and she gives it over to Gorman. Now Nicholson catches it inside the paint, but up top to Kohler. Quick ball movement outside Gorman, 3, no good, short. Shannon Barrett reaches up and skies for the rebound over everybody else. And now Barrett in transition, nice pass there to Arias, no good. And once again, another empty possession by Baruch on the offensive end.
Yeah, again, Arias, Barrett, Spyu, we keep calling those names out, but they've gotten as far as the basket but haven't finished.
Perez has it now, gives it off to Kohler. Nicholson left wing 3, no good. But once again, John Jay on the offensive end. Kohler up top to Nicholson, and John Jay will slow it up. And now Perez gives it off to Gorman. Finds Kohler in the soft spot of the defense. And now Kohler has it up top. Turned with Nicholson. 3-pointer by Perez in the corner. No good. Rebounded, tipped away, and it looked like went off John Jay last, and it'll go back to Baruch.
Well, Perez, the leading scorer coming in for John Jay, has not been a factor. But, you know, a lot of opportunities here and there for John Jay. But, you know, the leading scorer has not been a factor.
And only 8 points in the fourth quarter by both these teams. Been very difficult to find the bottom of the basket.
Yeah, I mean, the passing has been there. They've gotten to the door. They just haven't gone through it.
Now Barrett has it, gives it off to Ahmed. Her jumper around and out, and Ahmed still trying to find that stroke and get her first bucket of the night. Now 0 for 10 on the evening, but that one looked good, Joe. Starting to maybe get into that rhythm here late in the game.
Yeah, Dave, one of Ahmed's teammates hopefully will go up to her and pat her on the back and say, hey, don't worry about it. You know, next game, you know, you're going to more than do what we expect of you. It's okay.
The foul there is on Caitlin Kohler. It's her fourth, so definitely in a little foul trouble, but looks like she'll play this one out with a little bit more than 3 minutes remaining here in the ball game.
Yeah, big possession for Baruch to extend this 5-point lead. Now give them some breathing room.
The board has it now, gives it off to Spyu as Talbot throws Barrett to the ground, it looks like, and Coach Day definitely had a problem with that call. And that's going to send, oh no, that'll be Baruch's ball underneath on the inbounds.
Wow, that was a takedown in wrestling.
Now Barrett drives, trying to get the ball to her back door. And it's going to stay with Baruch. I think it was going to be out of bounds off John Jay. Baruch will inbound underneath. Ahmed now has it right wing. Gives it over to DeBoard. Arias back to Ahmed. Drives. Nice move there by Samira Ahmed. Able to get her first bucket of the night. Nice right-handed move.
Yeah, again, the lead pass from Arias and one dribble to the basket. She used the glass and welcome.
So it extends the lead to 7 with 2:40 remaining here. Dangerous pass there, almost tipped away by Arias. Nicholson over to Kohler, over to Gorman. The pass back to Kohler, almost intercepted there by Arias. As Shannon Barrett hits the deck in some pain, she tripped over Nicholson as she was on the floor. And it's going to be side out right in front of us with 2:29 remaining here in the game. Shannon Barrett slow to get up.
Dave, that was a highlight film for Daniela Arias. Did you see how she anticipates and then makes the play with either her hands and feet? It's just classic what she does for the spare can attack.
Now Arias will bring it into the front court for Baruch. 38-31. Baruch lead, 2:20 remaining here in the game. The board outside to Arias, inside to Barrett, over to Ahmed, back outside to Arias. Baruch's moving the ball pretty quickly here in the offensive end. Ahmed's free throw line jumper, no good. The board can't come away with that rebound. Had both hands on it, but Nicholson comes away with it for John Jay. Down by 7, 2 minutes remaining here in the game.
Arias gave Ahmed a perfect pass and a perfect position to knock it down. There's Arias again, anticipating, almost coming up with the ball.
And that's going to be a foul on Baruch as Gorman's jumper is no good. The foul is going to be on number 20, Samira Ahmed, her third. Team second.
Yeah, that was a scrambling foul by Baruch. But, again, you want to say that they're playing with energy now, but don't put John Jay on the foul line.
And she's able to knock down the first, cuts it to 6, 38-32. Off on the second, though. And Shannon Barrett will bring it into the front court, gives it off to Daniela Arias. 38-32, a minute and 40 remaining here in the game. Arias moving the ball left to right now. Back up top to Arias from Ahmed, over to Barrett, gives it out to Ahmed. Ahmed thinks about the three, she takes, able to knock it down. It's actually going to be a 2, and that's Samira Ahmed's second bucket, but some clutch baskets here late in the game.
Yeah, it's good to see Ahmed get going again. This is going to carry over to the next game. Good psychological things for Ahmed, and once again, who gave her the ball in the right position but Arias.
Talbot's jumper, no good, rebounded by Barrett. Almost loses the ball there as Nicholson sneaks up behind her, but Barrett's able to bring it into the front court where Arias will take over.
Yeah, put the ball in your leader's hand. Let Arias be the general out there now and for games coming up.
And Coach Day wants John Jay to foul, but trying to pick who's going to foul because a few of their players working on some foul trouble. And John Jay just not fouling as Baruch's able to move the ball around. Ahmed outside to Arias. And Nicholson on the foul, and that'll do it for her tonight. Dana Nicholson had 9 points tonight, 5 boards, and that was her 5th foul. Also throwing an assist there, 3 of 13 from the field, but you have to like what she did, playing a lot of minutes this evening and really helping out this John Jay Bloodhound team.
Yeah, leading scorer Perez again, not her usual self. So once again for John Jay, next man up.
And I think Coach Day did not want Nicholson to foul right there and take herself out of this game. Arias off on the first.
Yeah, you have to commit that foul really early because, you know, the clock is not on your side if you're John Jay.
And Arias off on the second. She goes 0 for 2 from the line right there, and John Jay still has an opportunity in this game to get back into it, only down 8 with 42.8 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the 3 ball obviously, you know, gets you back into games, but I think Daniela Arias should work and practice more on her free throws because she's going to be at the line a lot in the next coming games because she's going to handle the ball a lot. So hopefully she's practicing her free throws and, you know, when she gets a chance because she's going to be needed.
Especially late in games here. She's really struggled from the line. But Baruch in a nice position to hopefully hold off John Jay and seal their 3rd conference win.
Yeah, it's a lockjam in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th positions of CUNY. And I know we're going to talk about it, but I like what I saw, a couple of defensive things for Baruch going forward that I haven't seen in past games.
It looks like John Jay going to run up a little setup here, but Baruch just settling right into their zone. Now Gorman has it. Kohler corner 3 way off as Ahmed comes away with the rebound, and she is fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2 as well, and Baruch looking like they may hold on to this one tonight.
Yeah, I think I don't want to say they got lucky, but I think things turned out okay for them. They did pick it up defensively in the 4th quarter. That helped, and, of course, they caused turnovers. It also helps when John Jay's leading scorer didn't have a big game. But once again, some of the leaders of Baruch made plays. And also, let's not forget, Ahmed finally got the ball to drop for her.
And it's nice that they're beating a team that is really struggling right now in John Jay. But I think this recipe is not going to work for some of the big-time division leaders, whether it be College of Staten Island or anybody else moving forward.
No, one of the things, Dave, to your point is, you have to be worried about games like this. Let's face it, Baruch almost beat a juggernaut in Old Westbury. So that was a different mentality. But this game, let's face it, kind of like watching wet paint dry. It could have an effect on all of us.
Baruch only shooting 25% from the field tonight. Unfortunately, the John Jay can't capitalize, shooting only 17% from the field tonight. Just a poor shooting performance all around.
Yeah, it's colder here than it is outside, Dave. So, that's saying a lot.
And Kohler to inbound in front of her own bench for John Jay. Baruch already setting up into their zone before the ball's even inbounded. Kohler now 3. Right side, no good. Rebounds fought for. Arias goes off her last, and it'll go back to John Jay.
Good for Daniela Arias. Looking, she's on the floor with 26 seconds, still playing hard. Give her a lot of props.
And Samira Ahmed comes to the bench. Jacqueline Thamakun in to help Baruch finish out this game. Ball inbounded, tipped away by DeBoard. And it'll go back to John Jay.
DeBoard, Dave, still playing hard. She gives you a real great effort. Nothing that ever shows up in a scorebook.
3 there by Lipton. Around, in and out, no good as Marion Thopoulos comes away with the rebound, gives it off to Spayu. Into the front court to Arias.
Yeah, if I'm Arias, I just hold on to the ball now.
And now Thamakun has it in the corner, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Baruch's going to dribble this one out. So that will do it. Your final score here at the Arc Arena for Game 1 of our 2-game doubleheader. Baruch 42, John Jay 32. This has been a production on YouTube channel Baruch Bearcats. And Joe, it's been a tough night all around for both teams, but Baruch happy to get a win out of this one and really move back to 500 in the conference.
Yeah, a learning lesson that Coach Barrett will talk about for a long time. Be careful about the trap games, and so they come away with the victory. But I think what I want to talk about is Arias and Spayu really emerging as really top-notch defenders up top. I think a lot of the damage that John Jay did today was in the interior. Maybe the interior plays for Baruch were turned around. But I really like the fact that Arias and Spayu emerged with that's 4 hands and 4 feet up there moving. You saw a lot of deflections, and I think that's going to bode well defensively going ahead. Offensively, I love to see Arias at the top. She really whips the ball around, and they have to space out more, don't get in each other's way. And once again, as we say every game, you have to look for Barrett early on. And it seems she's most effective where Arias finds her on the wing in rhythm.
So, nice win for Baruch. John Jay, not much to build on except for the fact that you're having 5 freshmen in your rotation. Definitely going to give him some experience moving forward. Maybe not this year, but the years to come.
Yeah. John Jay, every year, again, always has a good product, men's and women's program. And, yeah, as we talk about, your 5 freshmen turn into sophomores really quickly. But I like the fact that, they tried their best without their leading scorer, Perez. But on the other side, Baruch now is up there with the 3 and 4 wins in CUNY. And so they're right there. And let's see what they took out of this game. And they really need to look at the fact that don't fall asleep in games that are called gimme games or trap games. And the other thing, Dave, finally, is when Barrett is not having her A game, who are your secondary and third producers?
Yeah, Baruch now 3 and 3 in the conference, putting it right in the middle of the pack. as the rest of the conferences play tonight. So barring results, Baruch really has an opportunity to move up a little bit here in the conference play. So this is about going to do it for us for the first game. Once again, the final score, Baruch 42, John Jay 32. We have the second game of a doubleheader. It's going to be the men's game. Also, Baruch versus John Jay. We're about 23 minutes away from the start of that game. Tune in about 15 minutes for our pregame. For Joe Stolzer, I'm David Just. See you in a few.